Good morning, guys. Today's class is going to be obviously morning flow. It's going to be around 30 or so minutes, designed to just get you up and ready for the rest of your day. You won't need any special props or any gear for it. All you need to do is just roll out your mat and start lying down. I'll see you in a sec. So we're starting today in a Shavasana position. So feet about hips distance apart, the tops are splayed outwards, arms alongside the body, palms facing up, eyes are closed. Don't get too comfortable, as this isn't a cue to just go back to bed. Although if you've made it to the mat this morning, then huge well done, because it took me ages, an absolute age, just to become more of a morning person. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. One more time, inhale. Exhale, side out. We're going to start sealing the lips and maintaining a steady inhale and exhale throughout the rest of the practice. Beginning to cultivate an awareness for the breath early on so that it can be the constant throughout the flow. Start to notice all the areas that are supported by the earth and the mats. So for me it's the backs of the heels, the calves, the low back, the upper back, the head of course. Everyone's different, so what is supported for you, and continue to breathe. Now we're going to scan the rest of the body, areas that aren't supported. So the backs of the knees, we've got some natural curves in the spine. After all, we're not just one-dimensional beings, or in fact two-dimensional. So just continue to scan the body. Maybe starting to breathe a little bit more deeper. Relaxing any area in the face. So usually we clench the jaw. Try to just soften that area and the area between the two eyebrows. And anywhere else that you can find as you scan through your body. We're going to start to bring our knees into our chest. So bend the knees, you can walk your heels closer to your butt. And bring your knees into your chest, holding onto your knees with your hands. And we're just going to make some slow, small circles to begin with in one direction. It doesn't matter which, we're going to do both. You can keep your eyes closed. For now, anyway. And we're going to get a little bit more adventurous with our circles, opening out a little bit more. Your hips can lift up slightly off the ground as you go side to side. Feels really good for the lower back. And then reverse the direction. So go the other way. You can linger anywhere that you want if you feel your low back needs a little bit more attention in some areas. We're doing two good things at one time, so massaging the lower back and loosening out the hips. I love multitasking. Alright, so we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest and then split them open and make circles like that. So kind of like a breaststroke for the legs. And go as far as you want, as fast as you want, keeping your awareness on the breath and making sure that it is still pretty even and steady. And as we're getting more comfortable, we're going to start moving the knees in some asymmetrical ways to kind of introduce some freestyle movements, finding any areas that you might not have got to before, opening it out a little bit more, a little bit wider, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, open them out slightly, bringing our arms onto the inside of the thighs. So you can grab your big toe with your 2 peace fingers, or the outer edges of your feet, or your ankles, depending on where you can grab, and just start to come into a happy baby, making sure the low back, the spine is even on the ground, and we're essentially pulling our knees towards our shoulders. But as it's quite early in the practice, and I'm assuming in the morning, it doesn't need to be anything heavy so far. So these can be pulses to ease your knees and open out your hips. Or you can even hold a static happy baby. That usually feels good. Or we might even rock side to side. Think of what a baby does when they're doing something like this, apart from expelling fluids. They're rocking side to side, maybe they're smiling. They usually can bring their feet really close to the face. We're not going to do that today. So maybe straighten out one leg and bend the other. Straighten out one leg, rock side to side. Yeah, you're allowed to make any noise you want as you're in the comfort of your own room or your own home. All noises are condoned. All right, let's take a couple more breaths in this happy baby. And then we're going to bring our knees towards each other, open our arms out into a T position or a cactus position, whichever is more comfortable for you, or depending on how much space you've got. We're going to bring our knees into a 90 over our hips, squeezing the thighs towards each other. Take an inhale here. And then as we exhale, bring your belly button to your spine and start to lower your knees over towards the right-hand side, hovering your knees about an inch off the ground, and then inhale, coming back through center. And then exhaling, belly button to spine, twisting over towards the left-hand side. Inhale, come back through center. And let's go at your own pace, just side to side, making sure your shoulders aren't lifting off the ground when you're moving side to side. We're twisting, basically, using the legs. And again, if you can scan your face, try to soften any areas that you've unconsciously clenched or hardened whilst waking up the core. We'll do, I think, 2 more each side. So it's important that you bring your belly button into your spine as you're twisting, because we want the twist to come from above the belly button. All right, 1 more each side. Bringing the knees back through center, and then we're gonna bring the feet down to the ground, feet about hips distance apart, You can graze the backs of your heels with your middle fingers, and we're just going to come into some gentle bridges. So pressing the feet, the heels into the ground, slowly lifting your hips as you inhale, squeezing or gentle squeeze of the thighs towards each other. And then coming up about midway and then exhaling, just lowering back down. These are really gentle bridges just to, again, waken up the spine, pressing into the heels as you inhale, lifting up, maybe a little bit higher, not too extreme, lowering back down. One more time, pressing into the heels, pressing into the hands, maybe lifting the chin away from the chest this time, holding it at the top, thighs squeezing towards each other. And then as you exhale, lower one segment of your spine at a time. Okay, straighten out the legs, and then depending on how much of a morning person you are and how much energy you have, we can just lift our arms up and kind of zombie our way up, or we can just bring our knees into our chest and then roll to one side and rock up. So I'm going to zombie it up, and then as I come up, I'm going to bring my knees into my chest and then roll back. So gain some momentum, we're just going to rock back and forth. And we might get into our upper back a little bit, into the shoulders. Ooh, it feels really good. Let's do 2 more rocks of this. And then we're going to find ourselves into a seated position. So I'm going to turn to you, but you can just continue to face the front of the mat. So legs in easy cross, so one foot in front of the other, crossed by the shins, or just flat out onto the ground. I'm going to inhale both arms up and overhead, palms facing each other as they come up, and then exhaling, bringing your right hand down to the ground and reaching your left hand up and over. So as you come up and over, press your right hand into the ground so you can ground both sides of your sit bones, because the left side of your sit bone wants to come up. So you want to press into the ground, make sure they're both grounded, and then reach up and over. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling over towards the other side. So right hip wants to come up, press your left hand into the ground, even it out, and then reach up and over. And feel that expansion all along the right hand side. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling, coming over. And we're just going to kind of tick-tock back side to side, working with our breath. And as we get more comfortable with these side stretches, can maybe walk our fingers out a little bit more each time, maybe bending the elbows, eventually even bringing the elbow down to the ground. But again, I've just brought my elbow down to the ground, and my left side is lifting, so I'm going to lift myself up and then reach up and over. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling to the other side, ribs in, so that the ribs also tend to flare out. We want to bring the ribs in, the floating ribs. All right, we're going to do one more on each side. So I'm coming back to center, right side, reaching up, maybe bending the elbow this time and opening the chest out, and then coming back up, left hand side, bending the elbows, opening up the chest, maybe looking up. Let's come back through center, lower the right hand down to the ground and reach the left hand up and over, and start to turn your body forwards, and using your fingertips or hovering your fingertips, we're going to walk them over to the other side on your exhale. Inhaling, bending the right elbow, opening out the chest, looking up, and then exhaling again, fingertips or hovering or sweeping your hands over towards the right, planting the right hand, opening out, inhaling, expanding, exhaling, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Obviously go at your own breath, you don't have to follow my pace. I'm going to go back and forth. And if you like doing what I just did, so just kind of pursing my mouth as if I'm sipping in air. And then when I'm blowing out air, like I'm blowing out some candles, some birthday candle, not even your own birthday candle, someone else's birthday candle. I feel like that kind of helps you take in more oxygen, helps you wake up just a little bit more. Right, one more each side. Come to the left, come back up, and then as we're facing the front of the mat, let's come into a tabletop position. So just roll forwards, bring in the shoulders underneath the wrists and the knees underneath the hips, bending the elbows, pressing into the finger pads and then the knuckle pads, and then slowly straighten in the arms as you scoop your elbows in and back, so then the elbow creases are pointing towards each other and more towards the front of the mat. All right, the tops of the feet are parallel to each other. So hands are about shoulders distance and knees are about hips distance. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, bringing the chest through the arms, lifting the chin, and then exhaling, arching the spine as we bring our chin in towards our chest, heart up towards the sky, tucking the tailbone, inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. This is cow. Exhaling, chin into chest, heart up to the sky, arching the spine. This is cat. And then we're just going to inhale back and forth in this. This is probably one of my favorite two poses that I always do. They're really good for warming up the spine. And you can even close your eyes if you want. Letting your sensation guide you over visual cues. Let's do 2 more cat-cows each. Last one. And then bring your hips over towards the left and gaze over towards the left. Then hips over towards the right, gaze over towards the right. And then you can just continue to sway your hips side to side. Move your shoulders in circles over your wrists. This is a freestyle moment for you, so you can do whatever you want. Maybe lowering the hips down towards the heels, making big circles, maybe coming onto your fingertips. That's always fun, and doing a cat-cow like that. So try different things, feel what's good. Again, close your eyes. This part is up to you. And so explore. An option for this is even child's pose, so you can just bring your hips back to your heels and just sit up for a couple of moments, just breathing. Let's take 2 more breath cycles. Going in whatever direction, whatever shape, movement we're doing. Okay, coming into tabletop position. Again, shoulders underneath, above wrists, hips above knees. Curling the back toes under, making sure every toe is in contact. So maybe even your pinky toe has the slightest contact with your mat. We're going to press into the hands, start to bring the belly button to spine, lifting the hips, lifting the knees, squeezing the thighs towards each other, starting to wake up the core. So everything's going to start shaking either now or pretty much now. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. holding it up here, just waking up the core. If you haven't woken up yet, then you will be waking up now. So we're going to hold this for another 20 breaths. 20 seconds, not breaths. That would be insane. So, like, let's say that's 19, 18, 17, pressing into the hands, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, 20 seconds is quick. So we're going to go back, walk our hands back, sitting on our heels, and just shake your arms out side to side, up and down. Maybe bring your elbows in, bring it all around, reverse, up and down, side to side. All right, maybe opening and closing your hands as well. So if you feel any strain in your hands, always stop and just kind of squeeze them, open them out. All right, so we're gonna do this, we're going to transition into a low lunge. So we're going to lift the knees off the ground, squeeze the right knee into the chest, and then we're going to lower the right foot next to the right thumb. So if that takes you multiple steps, and then just take those steps. It doesn't really matter, as we're just coming into a gentle low lunge. You can give yourself a little bit more space here by coming onto the fingertips, lifting the chest, and then we're just going to move the hips just back and forth. Okay, so then I'm going to plant the left hand onto the ground, lift the back knee off the ground, and inhale, lift the right hand up towards the sky, and then exhaling, what we're going to do is place both hands onto the inside of the right foot, and then we're going to pivot and turn our body, turning the feet as we do so, walking our hands and body over to the back of the mat, lowering the back knee down, coming into a low lunge. Again, fingertips onto the ground to give yourself some more space. Inhaling, filling up the chest, looking forwards, and then rocking a little bit back and forth. So what we're going to do is just flow back and forth to the front and the back of the mat into low lunges. And I like to purse my lips again, so I do that, and it feels really good, and it just really wakes me up and feels super flowy at the same time as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and if you need to support your hands as you go back and forth, then do so. Otherwise we might just start using our hands as less support. So let's try this. Lift the back knee off the ground, press your right hand into the ground, inhaling, reaching the left hand up towards the sky. All right, and then as we exhale, we're going to pivot the legs. At first, we're going to use the fingertips to guide us back, planting the left hand to the ground, inhaling up towards the sky, right hand up, exhaling again, just pivoting, staying low, coming to the other side, right hand down, left hand up, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, nice, inhaling, exhaling, keep going. And as we get more familiar with this might feel more fluid. The inhales and exhales are less distinct where they begin and finish. Kind of feel like imagine a pendulum just going back and forth. And I really like this flow because I can kind of stay low, reach into space, open out, and kind of create some space as well. Getting a little bit funky, getting a little bit weird. And if you want to, maybe use hands free as you exhale to the other side of the mat. Stay low. Right, we're going to do one more time. Inhaling up, exhaling to the back. All right, we're going to come back to the front of the mat and then fingertips onto the ground, and we're just going to pop up the back leg and plant it next to the right foot. So feet about hips distance apart. We're going to bend the knees generously so our belly is on our thighs. Grab your opposite elbows and just sway side to side. Return to maybe a more regular paced breathing. Alright, bend the knees generously and then slowly uncurl yourself up to a standing position. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, and then exhale, bend your knees, and we're going to come down to the ground, straightening the legs. Inhaling and curling up, arms reach, exhaling, curling down. And we're just going to keep going back and forth like this, coming up and coming down. You can speed the movement up if you want to get a more kind of cardio kick out of it. And I don't know if you guys have seen the inflatable car wash guy, this like giant piece of thing that just flails about in the elements. Basically that's what we're channeling at the moment. So get loosey-goosey and think about this car wash guy who can pretty much weather anything. We'll do a couple more. Last one, coming up, and then bend the knees, come all the way down. Straighten the legs. We're going to start to pat the tops of our feet, and then pat the tops of our shins. Go past the knees, tops of the thighs, then to the outer edges of our feet. Maybe, well, to the outer edges of our shins, to the backs of our legs, calves, thighs, our butt, and then coming round forward and going onto the inner edge of our leg, coming back up. I'm going to tap the hips, the belly, abdominals, the sides, the obliques, coming up into our chest, and then do the outer edges of our arms, up, down, shoulder, neck, then other arm, backs of the arms, up, round, shoulder, feels good on the shoulder, the neck. Use your fingertips to tap the back of the head, the side of the head, the crown of the head, the face, the neck. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come all the way down again. And let's pat one more time. So pat the tops of the feet, shins, thighs, run to the outer edges, all the way down, back up. Oh, maybe this time use your fist to just gently tap your lower back, your kidney space. Forgot about the back, which is very important. Then come back down, go on the inner edges of the legs, inner thighs, hips, pelvis, stomach, chest, sides of the chest, the obliques. Let's go on one side of the arm, the outer edge, inner edge, shoulder. Right, and then outer edge of the other arm, inner edge, shoulder. Tap the back of the head using the fingertips, side of the head, crown of the head, forehead, chin, jaw, throat, and then to your sternum. And then close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, sigh it out, just like you did at the start. Inhale, inflate, get big. Exhale, get small. One last time, inhale. Exhale. And just stand here for a moment, just noticing the difference you feel now. Gently opening your eyes. My name's Dyon, and you're going to have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.